Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Today I have decided to prepare the best team for the upcoming Game Week 36. You can treat that as a free hit team, hence the title, or you can treat it as a best team, hence the thumbnail. I wanted to split both, but in general that is what we're going to do. We're going to pick a starting 11 and we're going to provide a bench for options that you might buy. Some of the players on the bench may surprise you, but I'm picking them as they're good transfer targets if you're not activating the free hit, as if you're looking for a best team for that weekend players to buy, they are included in that section. First, we're going to go through the fixtures and pinpoint where we can target the upcoming Game Week 36, and then we're going to discuss the best team for Game Week 36. I managed to reach my goal for 3.5k, so special thanks to you all guys that have subscribed and are still watching me here in the season. But if you want to even more grow my community and you haven't subscribed yet, press that subscribe button and let's see where we can reach up until the end of the season. The target was reached, so let's see if we can beat it further and further above us. We are aiming for 5k and that is the ultimate goal for the year. Now without further ado, let's jump into the fixtures. So here are the fixtures, and there are a lot of possibilities here where you can gain some points. Fulham Everton is a very good example because I think some of the defenders here are going to make a very good introduction into the team. I'm going to speak about them, but it's a very good fixture to aim. Next up, we have two more fixtures which are brilliant. Ipswich versus Brentford. Ipswich are already down while Brentford are playing for those European spots. Have in mind that I'm recording this video well before Game Week 35 has concluded, so I don't know the results of it apart from the City game. And speaking about City, they're facing Southampton, and I think that first of all, Erling Haaland may be back. Secondly, I think there is a very big chance of great performance by City as they are gaining some speed. Yeah, the game is not that exciting with them, but I think they're going to score for fun against Southampton and they're going to prepare for the upcoming FA Cup final. After that, it's Wolves versus Brighton. It's a little bit unpredictable, so I will aim to avoid it. And Bournemouth Aston Villa, another unpredictable future for my liking. Newcastle Chelsea, a direct battle for that top 4 spot. I think that Newcastle have the upper hand, first of all, because Chelsea play midweek. Secondly, Newcastle are at home and they are in a far better form than Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea are, as mentioned, unpredictable, and I'm going to probably avoid picking players from both teams in the upcoming fixture. Next up, we move to Manchester United versus West Ham, and I think here West Ham are favorites as United are just abandoning the Premier League fixtures and they are completely focused on the European Cup. Of course, they are leading 3-0 before the game at Old Trafford, and of course a lot of things can happen, but I would quite argue that they are going to get it and they are going to reach the final. Another team fighting for Europe is Spurs versus Crystal Palace, but Crystal Palace I think are going to prepare for the FA Cup final in 37. And by the way, we don't know yet if there is going to be a double week. There is a high possibility that the fixture between Villa and Spurs is moved post Game Week 36, as in 37 there is going to be a fixture for the final. But if there is a final where Spurs fixture run has changed, I think United deserve the same treatment, so probably United will gain another fixture. I don't know what's going to happen, but currently we're treating this as it is not going to be a double week for any teams. So for now, I think that Spurs and United are team to target. So West Ham and Crystal Palace make the list here. Interesting. Nottingham Forest versus Leicester. This is one of the last easy, no, it's not one of the last easy games, but it's one of the easiest games for Forest this season, and they need to get it, and they need to score goals, and they need to keep clean sheet. So I think investing in their squad is going to be wise. And finally, Liverpool versus Arsenal, number 1 versus number 2. I think that Arsenal are going to be tired after facing PSG in Europe. We don't know what's going to be the outcome of that game, but still I favorite Liverpool here as they're also at home. So the games that I will be targeting are Fulham Everton, Ipswich Brentford, Southampton Manchester City, United West Ham, and Nottingham Forest Leicester. Those 5 fixtures will be the prime fixtures where I pick the following 15 players that I'm going to showcase to you. Of course, some of them you might pick for future reference. For example, like Everton players, you're going to see them in my team, as I believe that in 37, if you are not free hitting now, you will keep that Everton player and you would like to play him. Of course, different things may come from different teams, but yeah, those 5 fixtures will going to be the prime target. Now, without further ado, let's go and see how the team looks. Showcasing the bench and the goalkeepers first. We're going to talk about the bench first. So I'm going with Collins, with Ipswich away. Brentford have been surprisingly good in the defensive department as of recently, and I think that if you are only free hitting this week, even Collins can be called upon your team, but I've prepared one more player inside the team that is going to do the job well. Mikulenko, Fulham away. I know it's not the easiest of fixtures, but after that in 37 they have one of the easiest of fixtures, so I am relying on Mikulenko also to help the team if you're looking for someone to boost the ranks, not only for 36 but for 37 and 38 also. Finally, it's Kluivert, a penalty taker. Yeah, he has fallen off a little bit after his injury, but I think they need a strong end of the season. Yes, they face Manchester City, but Manchester City will be tired after the FA Cup final in 37. In 36 against Villa, both teams will be fighting for Europe. So if you're looking to transfer someone that is going to rise into the occasion, basically the bench is someone. So Collins is only for this week, Mikulenko is for the future, and Kluivert is for the future also. Pickford, another pick for the future, a goalkeeper, a backup keeper. They haven't played yet in 35. In 36 they will be facing Fulham, and then in 37 in Southampton. But I quite like his performances and how Everton have defended. Now, moving into the starting lineup, we are starting with Sales. I know that Forest has lost a little bit of pace recently, but Sales has been the best keeper this season. In my eyes, most clean sheets, great performances. He basically exceeded everything that I expected from him and from Forest, and him at 5.1 is a perfect choice for your team if you're looking for a keeper. A lot of people are on Raya, who's going to face Liverpool. They have either Verbruggen or Areola, and they're not with the most amazing of fixtures. So I think Sales is a brilliant player to get. If we get a double week, that probably won't change Sales' position, as I quite like him, and he's getting some bonus points, some save points, and Leicester are having tough time scoring. Of course, they scored against Brighton when I owned Brighton players, but nonetheless, it has been pretty difficult for Leicester to score, and I quite doubt that they will start scoring against Forest. Now, let's go and move into the defense to present more and more great defenders for the upcoming game week 36. Going into defense, here I have some placeholders, some nailed players, and some attacking players. So, starting with the attacking player, first I'm going to discuss Sessegnon. He is still playing as a right winger. Of course, his minutes are not 90, which can be frustrating, as he went off the field against Aston Villa around the 57th minute. So even if they were on a clean sheet, he wouldn't have gotten that. But still, if he's getting up until the 65th minute, he is going to be brilliant. He started together with Harry Wilson, which surprised me quite a lot, because Harry Wilson was deployed as a number 10, and Sessegnon was bombarding that right side of the wing. They moved to a formation like a 3-5-2-ish, something like that, or 3-4-3, with Sessegnon operating on the right side. But yeah, I was quite surprised. Of course, if you don't want to risk it, he's an easy swap with Collins, but I wanted to present a fullback that's at 4.2, facing Everton at home and playing as a right winger. I think that those three things are brilliant to say, and I would argue that having Sessegnon in your team is not a weakness, but a very strong contention to gain a lot of points. Now, moving into the placeholder is Owa Aina. I'm including him here because he deserves a special shout out for his performances throughout the season. He is not going to be the most ideal player probably for any of you. Neco Williams is cheaper, Milenkovic is more popular, but Owa Aina has been one of the findings of the season, and I quite fancy him. So yeah, I decided to give him a special shout out to him, but that is only a placeholder for that second Forest defender. If some teams turn to have a double, Aina will be dropped, but for now I think Aina is in a brilliant space. Next up we have Gvardio, and he for once is the nailed player. He's playing now as a center back, but he's gaining a lot of bonus points playing there. Yes, his attacking appeal has been decreased, but still 6.4 is a great price to be included in your squad. Moving into midfield, things get a little bit easier as I think the midfield picks itself. Starting with Salah against Arsenal, I know that Liverpool have won the title and may just not play full speed ahead, but Salah in particular will be chasing all of the records that he can get. And the home fixture against Arsenal is a prime favorite for that to happen. Of course, 13.8 is a lot of money you have to pay, but I think you have all the money that you like and you need, as it's not very expensive, that squad so far, and 13.8 can be spent on Salah. KDB, after that performance against Wolves, I think that he's going to be very, very popular against Southampton. 9.4 million, it's a lot of money, but I think it's completely deserved. One final shout out to the KDB era is going to be happening against Southampton, so I am quite a big fan of that pick. After that, it's Bowen against Manchester United. I know it's away, but United will be playing in Europa League semi-final, while West Ham would be resting, so I would give a big advantage to someone like Bowen for that particular fixture. He plays as a right wing, he can play as a forward, he can play everywhere onto the field. So I feel like Bowen is a great pick to go into that week. And last but not least is Mbeumo, who is also chasing the 20 goal mark, and I think against Ipswich he is going to be most probably going to get it. I know that there are some players missing like Rogers, Sarr, Eze, Murphy, Gordon, Barnes, no other midfielders from Forest, but we occupied it with 2 Forest defenders. We can pick other City midfielders, we can pick more Liverpool players, but I quite enjoy that midfield. Of course, Quiver's spot is only a placeholder. You have to say we're basically not playing him, but yeah, I think those 4 players are the best options. 2 penalty taker, KDB, who is in prime form at the moment and trying to showcase to the City board that they are making a mistake. And last but not least, Bowen, who is probably one of the best players in the bottom half of the table, and it's going to be completely deserved if he picks more and more goals against that United side. Here we have 2 prime candidates for captaincy, but we're going to discuss captaincy into the next section. Last but not least is the forward line, and for me it picks itself. Starting with the most controversial pick here, it's going to be Marmoush. I wouldn't have predicted to have said those words 2 weeks ago, but Haaland is back into contention, and I think this is the last week where Marmoush is viable, because Haaland is going to be eased into the game. I don't see why Haaland would be risked, especially against Southampton, especially away, for him to miss the Crystal Palace final in the FA Cup, but he can be perfectly utilized if you have issues scoring against Southampton, and he can come on as a sub and get a little bit of play time. That would be restricted to about 30 minutes in my eyes, but of course Pep Guardiola is unpredictable, and Marmoush might end up being a bad pick, or they may share the field altogether, but for now I'll be still picking Marmoush. Next up is Wood. I think he's the most obvious choice this week. He's on penalties, unlike Wissa, who is the final option here, and that would leave me with only 3 penalty taker in that team, which is not ideal, but at the end of the day, not everything is penalties, and having a penalty taker against Leicester makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. 7 million, I know it's a hefty price you have to pay, but Wood has been one of the stars of the season. Basically, this team is full of stars of the season in some sort, and Mbeumo, Wissa, Wood, Salah, they have been amazing all season long. Bowen, especially, also KDB. A special shout out to the career he's having. Aina and Guardiola and Sales, pretty special seasons, and Sessegnon, amazing performance as a free agency as well. Marmoush is just good City player. Finally, Wissa, I think everyone will have Wissa as he's facing Ipswich away, and Brentford are in contention to finish in top 8, which if Chelsea, Spurs or United win any European trophy would mean that they would end up in Europe, which would be quite amazing for that Brentford side that are just playing a money ball type of structure and thing, and yeah, it would mean so much to the city. And someone like Mbumo may stay into the next season in order to showcase his abilities in Europe and gain himself a even better transfer. This team value is 101.2. I think a lot of managers would be able to afford that. Of course, if you decide to go for Haaland, you have to drop probably Salah or KDB or someone like Bowen and Marmoush altogether, and pick someone cheaper instead of Bowen and go with Marmoush, as you need around 6 million. So that would mean 107.2. That is a lot of money. So yeah, maybe if you drop it down to 4, you may be able to afford him. But nonetheless, I still believe that Marmoush is going to start against Southampton, even if Haaland is back into the team. The captaincy option for me this week is going to be KDB or Mbumo, one last KDB armband or a completely deserved armband for Mbumo, as Ipswich are conceding from the right wing spot a lot, and guess who is playing there? It's Mbumo. So I would say it's going to be between all of them, but I may give it to Mbumo and close my eyes when KDB plays. I think that this team can be adjusted a little bit, but I quite like it. And if I was free hitting, this would be my team. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section, because yeah, I need your help if I'm missing something or if you find someone else better in that sense for the upcoming Game Week 36. Last but not least, a special shout out to the current members of the channel: Florin, Oscar, Scouser, Hem, Dmitro, Anthony. Thank you so much for being members of the channel and supporting me financially. Scouser and Florin have been gifting over 9 subs throughout the year, so special shout out to them even more. If you guys want to support me financially and gain some perks like badges, a sneak peek into content earlier, which is going to be pretty important into the preseason, as you'll be getting ahead of everyone, or even some one-on-one sessions completely one-on-one, me and you, and we are going to schedule something. You just pick one of the perks and one of the price options, and the perks will come your way. If you cannot afford it or don't want to spend some money, just subscribe to the channel. It's completely for free and you help me grow organically, which is the final goal of this channel, is to reach at the moment 5k, and after that I don't know what to put next target, as 5k would be a dream of mine that I never expected that I would reach, and we'll have to put another, but 3.5 is beyond what I expected of this season, but we reached it all together. So once again, let's push for one final time. 3 weeks remain, 2 weeks in UCL. I think that 5 weeks of content will not be enough to reach any significant increase, but whatever comes our way, more the better, as community will grow further and further during the summer. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, like, subscribe, follow down below, notifications turn on, message me, join the Discord group, join the mini league. Everything is completely for free. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.